You don't have to be in your feelings. You don't have to personalize everything. You don't have to personalize people. You don't never, ever have to take anything personal. But people are taking this Essence Festival of the Culture 2026 performance lineup. They're taking this stuff personal. And Cardi B is going to get all of the backlash. This festival is supposed to be representing a certain dynamic, a certain culture, a certain group of people. It has a targeted audience. When you speak about Essence and Brandy and Mocha and Ebony and Mahogany and things of that nature, when you speaking about Essence, it's the start of something in America. But they're taking over this thing. And when I say they, we're going to get around to that because the lineup sounds crazy. You got Cardi B with the booty rocking everywhere. You got a wholesome Brandy and Monica. They toting the line. They aunties out here. They trying to put on for the culture, but at the same time, they want the people to keep it classy, but they on stage with Miss Nasty. Then you come out with the humblest queen of them all, Mrs. Patti Pie herself, and you gonna have Cardi B wagging cheeks on the stage, and she's not the only person on the lineup. A lot of people are offended by this lineup because Cardi is going to be there, and I hope she tone it down when she get up on stage, because if she bend over and fought in front of somebody's grandmother, they're gonna have to call the paramedics in there. The Essence Awards is for older black people, old Bible Belt blacks. So what they doing is upsetting a lot of people out here with these raunchy type of performances. Essence Festival of Culture unveils 2026 lineup. The festival, they doing too much, will return to New Orleans despite recent financial disputes involving the event's organizers. People feel like it's going to be a mess. People feel like the Essence Festival is going to be an embarrassment. BET already canceled the Hip Hop Awards, thank God. And they still dragging this thing along, especially in this economy. And they figure they need a Cardi B to spice and jazz things up. They don't want it smelling like mothballs all in the building. But it would have been better, my personal opinion, it would have been better if they would have just left it OG. But then, if they would have did that, this probably would have been the last one. They using Cardi B for hope. But all hope ain't good. The Essence Festival of Culture announced some of the headlines for its 2026 event scheduled for July 3rd through the 5th at Caesars Superdome. Knowing Women's History Month, Essence announced a slate of women performers, including Cardi B, Patti LaBelle, Kalani, Lotto, and Brandy and Monica. Patti LaBelle is a familiar face to past Essence audiences, and she's also scheduled to perform here in May with Shaka Khan, Gladys Knight, and Stephanie Mills. Man, it's going to be war. War, I tell you. The shade is going to be through the roof. Looking at them young gals up there shaking their cheeks. Look at her. She thinks she's something. Let me talk to you, Miss Thing. Let me talk to you, Miss Thing. Is they ready to have that conversation with Patti? Cardi B better not disrespect Patti LaBelle, man. And Lotto neither. They gonna have Black China performing. Well, at least that look like Black China. Things might get disrespect. I know for a fact. I don't think Shaka Khan gonna say nothing to nobody. She gonna mind her business. She gonna suck her teeth. She gonna do her little gig and be on her way. Gladys Knight, I don't think she gonna snap at the young girls, the spring chickens or whatever. I think Gladys gonna keep it classy. But Stephanie Mills, she seemed like the type that'll talk your head off, allegedly. And I could be wrong. And I'm pretty sure she got a word or two. But even if they don't say nothing to the other girls, it's still going to be some funny energy in the building. Essence will reveal more of the festival roster as July events approaches. Also scheduled to return is the festival slate of programming at the Ernest N. Memorial Convention Center that includes talks by authors, entrepreneurs, and cultural figures. So, people trying to get their podcast on. It's going to be a lot of people flying out for their content. And they're going to be flagging people down, trying to catch somebody. Hey, can you talk to me for a second, man? I got to ask a few questions about the culture. There's going to be a lot of that going on. There's going to be a lot of your favorite YouTubers out there trying to flag down a notable person for content. The Essence Festival still owe the convention center more than $400,000 from last year. The Times reported in February, the paper reported today that Essence owner Sundial Media Group announced it has agreements in place to pay all contractors. Y'all ain't got no agreement. How y'all gonna pay all these stars? And y'all in debt for $400,000. It should have never even made it to court if money wasn't the issue. Somebody not about to get paid. They about to get set up and done wrong at this Essence Fest if they ain't got their money together. Matter of fact, let's get into this real quick because I'm trying to understand what's happening here. Y'all listening? Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Let's get into this.
We're hearing directly from Essence Fest for the first time since it acknowledged ticket sales are down this year.
Chris Welty uncovers some vendors are also opting out.
Been coming since 2013 every year.
Charles Cohen just arrived from South Carolina with family and friends for Essence Fest. Aside from festivities and music, he's ready to shop.
Purchasing things from local vendors or vendors from outside of New Orleans.
Cohen's friend Gary Scott loves the laissez-faire vibe of the city, but that's not what draws him back.
Actually, I come from the food. The food down here is fantastic. I've never had such quality food in my entire life.
Why they putting on for them? They know they don't talk. They from South Carolina. Listen to how they talking on the camera, man.
Across the city, Essence Fest signs hang promoting the festival with a rich history in New Orleans.
That people who come here and have a good time then come back. They might come back for just an off weekend sometime in the fall. They may come back for another festival. Essence shows them a very...
Oh, hell no. Man, hell no. The whole hood is in the building. I see about 5 bro-rillas. And ain't nothing wrong with that. But they showed up for the this the audience that they got up here. This is a terrible dynamic for any organization when you dealing with an urban audience in 2026 because you don't know what to expect. I'm pretty sure all these women are very, very decent, beautiful women. You meet them personally on a one-on-one level, you will come across an angel. I don't doubt it not one bit. But when it comes to people selling to consumers, they don't look at that. They look at what they can exploit or how they can exploit it as trickery. And people show up to places like this, not understanding that they're the prey in these type of situations. These people already in debt for $400,000. And you showing up with what you have, that's like tossing money into the fire. They're not appreciating your dollar because that ain't enough to foot the bill. It's like showing up to a soup kitchen. They got to do it because it's in the contract, but best believe it's going to be some watered down sauce. And if it's hitting a little bit, you better be grateful. I ain't with it, man. This ain't adding up. I'm trying to figure it out for myself, man. I know I'm a little all over the place, but I'm trying to make it make sense. How much money is Shaka taking for this? And Gladys, I think they deserve millions. They probably ain't never seen that money from doing a gig. And that ain't right. There's some janky promoter madness going on here. Okay, let me get out my feelings because we got more to dig into and we're about to do it right now. Y'all listening? Here we go.
Essence Fest is whack and wash now because it's run by a bunch of Africans. There is no Black American culture that is reflected in Essence Fest anymore. Essence's CEO is an African. The chief, I don't know, one of their chief top level executives and officers is an African. The person that owns Essence Ventures is an African. So
Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on, brother man. Wait a minute. So slow this down. Slow it down. You mean to tell me that Essence is not even ran by Black folks from America? Hold on, y'all. Who are they? No, go back. Who is the CEO? Caroline Wanga is the CEO. Miss Wanga is running Essence? Hold on. What they got going on? So when they go to the Essence Fest, they celebrate African pride. Wait a minute, cut that off. What they doing? So she the head of African American culture? And hold on. Richulu Dennis appoints new CEO of Essence Communication. So, and she hiring her fellow Africans? And she was with, I forgot the lady name. Miss Harris or whatever her name is. And don't make it seem like I'm mad. I mean, people get money. I don't give a damn. If you surviving and you doing well, then you just surviving and doing well. I don't care where you from. But, yeah, that's what's going on with the Essence Fest. So when you go, you gotta keep in mind that you're going to a concert, but it's really like a braiding shop when you go in there. They ought to, you know what they need to do? They need to make the Essence Festival more about hair. And they probably already did. I wouldn't know. But just by looking at what's going on, that's probably their best bet. Hold on. Essence hair. Cause I know they used to have the ads in the magazines or whatever, but is that still what's going on here? Hold on. Let's get this together. They got hair products and stuff. So yeah, that makes sense. And when did they start doing this? Hair products and tools. Ulta Beauty's gorgeous hair events includes 50% off essentials. Is this the same Essence? It is. The best workout headbands to preserve your edges. They put the lady from Roscoe Jenkins on there. Blissy silk bonnets. So that's what they do. They done turned into a damn beauty supply store. Knockout knots with the best detanglers for curly hair. Knockout knots. Hey, somebody might need that comb while I'm over here getting my feelings. Dermastore Beauty Refresh Sales Shop our favorite hair care product. See, they make $1 billion off some hair. The best detangling brushes for curly hair. And had somebody with vitiligo modeling the brush. Man, they going on and on. Is that what the magazine is about now? Ain't that crazy? They done turned it into a beauty supply store. Man, I hope that ain't the same as it. Hold on. Let me do this real quick. Essence, I gotta figure this out. Cause Black culture is in shambles. And I ain't been paying attention. But when I seen this in the news, with Cardi B and all them performing in front of the elderly Blacks, something definitely not right. Hold on. That's the same website. So they trying to do it all. They exploiting the people. They trying to sell, and this supposed to be the standard of beauty that they putting out there on the Essence magazine system. What y'all got going on? The beauty, the natural curly, Afro pump. They talking to Suku market. They got a Suku market on there. Beauty, fashion, lifestyle, entrepreneur. So they came to exploit Black culture. I could be wrong. I would love to talk to this woman. I bet she would school me up and down about a lot of stuff. Like, you will have no culture if it wasn't our culture. You pay homage to your ancestor, me. I don't believe I'll go for any of that jazz. They put her, man, Black Americans out there, better know who you talking to before you get to talking, especially if you're in the metropolitan area, like Atlanta, New York City, and people proud about where they from. You know, people proud to be from the Caribbean, proud to be from the motherland and stuff, and rightfully so. I think it's a beautiful thing, but that culture vulturism is not good for when you're African American. You know what I'm saying? People don't feel it. It's like, let me show y'all what it's like. And then we're going to get back to the Essence Fest. I don't want to get too deep on this because it ain't supposed to be that deep. But look. This what it feel like when you dealing with people from other cultures, other people from Black nationalities and stuff. They waiting. They watching you so they can come get your house. They like, you got to watch out. Because they come, whatever your American, whatever it is, they want it. And look what happened to the Essence Festival. But that's Negro here or there. You know, I ain't in my feelings about it, but he sound like he in his feelings about it. Listen.
Essence Fest is whack and washed now because it's run by a bunch of Africans. There is no Black American culture that is reflected in Essence Fest anymore. Essence's CEO is an African. The chief, I don't know, one of their chief top level executives and officers is an African. The person that owns Essence Ventures is an African. So what used to be a celebration of Black American culture, the culture that is ours, the culture that we built from the ground up, the culture that Black Americans influenced the world through, has now been co-opted by some African diaspora, Pan-African, whatever, and a lot of Black people are just not feeling it. Now, I went to Essence Fest for the first time a couple of years ago. I think it was like Nicki Minaj, New Edition, and Janet Jackson were the headliners. It was absolutely incredible. It was a celebration of Black Americanness. There were Black people in and up and through it. It was a pure celebration of Black American culture and Black American heritage. But now that it's been co-opted by a bunch of Africans, it seems that nobody cares because they don't set culture for this world. We do. And until Essence Fest gets back to the Black Americans who created it and founded it and lead the culture, it will continue to fail with those Africans in charge.
Oh, so that's what's going on? Wait a minute. So they scamming, allegedly? Is that what they're trying to say? I'm trying to make it make sense to me. What's that talk about the $400,000 from last? They still owe the convention center more than $400,000. They ain't trying to pay them people. Vendors pulling out. What's going on? The paper reported today that the Essence on the Sundial Media Group announced it has agreements in place to pay all contracts. Well, how about y'all just do it? What type of agreements you need? Just pay them. They ain't trying to pay. Man, why they do it to the Essence? It was easy to take over. That's the saddest part about it. It ain't hard to do. If you want something, Humble Waters, what it do, beautiful? Thank you so much for them donations as well. Humble Waters. It ain't hard to do. You know what I'm saying? Just like how them artists back in the day was getting done dirty, from the Spinners to all of them, all of the old R&B acts, even rappers and such, get done dirty for decades, for generations. It's just I guess it's a part of American culture at this point, to where people just take it on the chin, turn the other cheek, and if that one ain't twerking, turn around. Because this is, man, I stopped paying attention to Essence and magazines and stuff because they're magazines. I moved on from magazines a long time ago. So I haven't been paying attention. I ain't been to the barbershop to sit there and see if they got I wonder if barbershops still got magazines. And if they do, they old, they dirty, and they sticky. But legendary. So I thought, I didn't know if Essence had his finger on the pulse in any way, shape, or form. You figure since so much stuff changed over the years, news stories and stuff like that. I mean, they were selling Avon and stuff out there, Essence magazine back in the day. The Avon lady come around, stay for hours trying to make another sale. She come all the way. Y'all remember the Avon lady? Or maybe that was a New York thing. But the Avon lady would come, sit with your mama for hours. Your mama buy something for $25. She'll sit for another hour, hoping she get another $25 and convince her to buy some more stuff. But that's Negro, you know. Let's get into this and get tickets available. The Essence Festival of Culture. What culture? They don't want to say black culture. They too arrogant to say African American culture. Is that what it is? What they talking about culture? Whose culture? Festival. So anybody culture, whoever got the money to buy a ticket, it's your culture. That's what they pushing. It's no. It's not African American anything. It's just culture. You got, it's going to be people from all different types of cultures paying because they confused. They going to have Tibetan monks and everybody at the damn arena with this type of marketing strategy. And I ain't mad at Essence at all. I'm just shocked at what I'm hearing as far as the lineup is concerned. This would have never got my attention if it wasn't for the lineup of people that they got coming to perform. It's raunchy. And I understand we living in some raunchy times, but don't make that the face of the culture. And that's what they did. Hey, everybody like a big booty, especially if that thing's swinging and she on the platform letting it flap. People gonna pay attention, man. People are naughty. And Cardi, she basically a stripper with a microphone. And if that's her gig, I'm not mad at that. But you don't gotta make it seem like it's American Pie. It's fucking Dominican Pie. Or whatever it is, it's good. And I ain't mad at Cardi B. But people are using her to exploit people in ways to where you don't have to exploit people like this when it comes to an Essence Festival because it's supposed to be cultural. Bring out the djembe drums and make it cultural. That ain't hard. They African, ain't they? Teach African Americans about some African culture. If y'all want to play that game, make it completely African. Don't cater and pander to a certain audience. I say, if it's African owned, then, bridge the gap. That's what I would say with Essence. If I was somewhere in there in the boardroom, or if I had some say-so or some input, I would say, hey, you own the company. Congratulations. That is a great accomplishment. You acquired Essence magazine, something that is foundationally African American, and you're not. But now that you're the owner, there's a lot of African Americans out there that could use some historical context or some, bridge the gap if it's culturally, through food, through whatever it is, man. Let's go ahead and bridge this gap. And that's fine. But they closing the gap while they snatching the bag and leaving you with Cardi B cheeks in your face. Like that's all you worth. I don't think that's right. They need to bring out Maya Angelou's grandkids or do something to make it more cultural. Look.
Very good time. Essence is so well put together by those who are associated with Essence itself, and the city does a great job.
Essence Fest acknowledges ticket sales are down this year, citing a variety of reasons.
But I think there's a lot happening in our world just in general, that's impacting people deciding to go places or not.
Oh, no, she didn't show up, man. No, she didn't. I ain't gonna talk bad about her, but what the hell?
Barcoo Tubman
To go
Boku Tubman Zawolo, Chief Community Officer at S. Man, what they got going on up there? And you be careful to talk. I ain't talking bad about them. They African in New Orleans. I don't want none of that smoke. But man, what's going on? That's what's happening with the Essence Festival. Hey, I think I better leave it alone. I know this Docs Daily and we get into highly intensified investigations and everything, but what I may have to say about this probably don't need to be said. I want to keep it appropriate because the truth be told, it's really not about culture, it's about moral. And you figure, if you want to get paid, there's healthy ways to get paid too, especially when you playing with people's culture and playing with people's names. Like do the right thing. Put somebody in place. If you want to own it, at least have a face or somebody there to help you steer this thing. This like hopping into an 18-wheeler and you don't know how to drive it. You crash, they crashing, they doing all the time. They fucking up the road with this. They need to let a sister from an American past, American culture, a legend, somebody, there's plenty of legendary women out there, African American women out there that can run the show effortlessly and give the people what they really want. Just because you slap a bunch of old school R&B acts on there, that don't mean it's gonna flow well with the current public. Cardi B and Lotto will make their Essence Festival debuts while Patti LaBelle returns. Additional performers are expected to be announced. So that's already putting them up on the platform, on the pedestal. They're rookies. They coming in, this their first time doing this. So it's going to be all about them. What Patty's supposed to give them a pat on the back? It's all right. I've been doing it since the 60s. You'll get the hang of it. What they want? Patti to pass them the torch? Is that what is this all about? They bringing in she already won the Grammy for the album of the year or whatever, and people feel like a lot of people in her category was slighted. She done stole the show when it comes to the Migos and love and hip hop and everything. They've been letting her through the front door while everybody else got to wait in line. And now they about to have her headlining the Essence Festival. Well, hell, take Black History Month and turn it to Cardi B month, goddammit. That's what they need to do. Take the whole Black History Month and turn it into Cardi B month. They gonna have her with that wop. Them flapjaps are gonna be flapping. All them old school men, they gonna be in there shaking their head. Mad because they can't pimple. What's going on? I don't like it. But whatever. It ain't like I'm gonna watch the Essence Festival. It ain't like I'm gonna be sitting at home with some popcorn watching the Essence Fest. I don't think I could stomach it personally. And that let me know that I'm out of touch with the current culture for what it is and where it stands today. I'm completely out of touch with it. And it's awkward too, because you want to be able to flow and gel with your community, but I ain't been able to do it. Because the foolishness that's accepted, I would have never thought it would. That's what let me know that I'm getting older. And that's okay too. But the things that you will have to be willing to accept, and either way, if you're willing to accept it or not, it is what it is. But damn, I don't want to fall victim to the culture because I see it play out every day. People literally fall victims to the culture while thinking it's cool. There's people that don't even recognize or realize that they're victims of the modern day culture. And you know, they're absolutely fine as long as they're a real one. That's what it boils down to. If you're a real one, regardless of your circumstances or your situations, you are worth more than gold. And what does it require to be a real one? Shit, when it's time to get ignorant, you the most ignorant. When it's time to get ignorant, that's when you shine. That's what it takes. The ignorance, when it's time to act a nut, how nutty can you get? That's your verification. And it been like that. It's like that in school. It's like that everywhere. People want to see the nut. And if you ain't able to bring them to the show, then you just got to go. Y'all see Finesse 2 Time online, wigging out, acting. That's because that's what you got to do. Unfortunately, in our modern culture, the Essence Festival, it's a lot of fixing that they could be doing with this festival. It's a lot of healing that they could be doing. Let TD Jakes come out there. Never would have made it. They need that dude out there, so he could say, I never would have made it without you. Then he get caught up in a sex scandal or something like that. We just ain't got no hope. Bring Obama out there and let him sing the song. I never would have made it without you, Michelle. I never would have made it. Shit, bring Biden out there. But Biden was a rolling stone. Dun, 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 dun. Wherever he laid his hat was his home. They need to figure it out. Bring out Jesse Jackson gone. Al Sharpton, I don't know. You know they're going to be in attendance, but why? You look in the crowd, they got the African All-Stars in attendance. They got the dude from Return to the Mac out there, Seal. Baby, something I was kissed by a rose on the way. Ooh, they might let him perform. What's the other girl, Sade? Let her get up there and do the sweetest taboo for Ethiopia. They could do an African. I think I would like that if they did an African Essence Festival. That would be dope. And had the soca music and Lady Saw. Do the soca music and have Lady Saw come out there. I think that would be classic. Bring back Shabo Ranks for the African festival. Mike, and let Michael Blackston host it. But why they playing? They need to call me, man, because what they're trying to do is it's gonna be bad because the people feel like they want to get their money's worth. But at the same time, they want to be able to do something with grandma. They want to bring the kids. It's the Essence. They want their uncle to be there. And it's going to be inappropriate when you sitting there with your husband and he looking between Cardi's bare ass. Y'all, it's going to cause an argument. It might even lead to a divorce. Married couples going to a whole show. Like, this ain't the type of energy I'm wanting. Got marital problems. Babe, I fucked up bad. I did, baby. I messed up real bad. I promise I'll never do that. Let me make it up to you, girl. Matter of fact, I got 2 tickets. It's either you come with me to this concert or you go the other way alone with the kids. We gonna make it work. We gonna try. She got an attitude already. Get to the Essence Fest. And here come Cardi B. She walk off the stage and sit her fat wop on your man's lap. That's gonna ruin your marriage. I don't think people know what they in for with this stuff, man. Look.
How did you feel when they turned the conversation because of Target and Caroline, your CEO's past involvement with Target? They turned it into a Black American versus Black African conversation, and that whole thing exploded. Of like, Essence is losing its focus on Black Americans.
Yeah, I mean, those are one of the. I mean, I'd love to hear how you guys think about that, but that's one of those ones that I struggle with understanding intellectually. Right?
Oh man, they don't understand. Hold on, look.
For
Now, there goes that intellectual.
Oh man, they trying to say black people's. They think. Oh, that's messed up. They think people stupid, y'all. That's how they feeling. Oh no. They feel like they can't even conversate with a. Oh. That's why they bringing out Cardi B and Lotto. They trying to give the people what they think they want. Damn. How long has it been like this? How long has African American culture been being ran by non-African American people? Because that could be detrimental. And maybe that's why the state of African American culture is so bad right now. We ain't got no control over the situation. We've been passengers in our own culture. Passengers in our own culture. While they running the show, they taking us. We just happy to be in the damn car. We ain't got no choice but to be in the car. I don't even want to be. I'm in the car, but I don't like where it's heading. But hey, I was born in the damn car. They wasn't born into it. So they don't have they can get back to their culture and be all right. They can preserve theirs in a healthy fashion and be A-okay. Cardi too, she do her hip hop gigs, but when you see her with her family, they eating good Caribbean food, doing Caribbean things. And speaking, and they know their language. They vibe with each other on a whole nother. They have Cardi B got a whole different culture, but she make that hip hop money because that's just what I won't call her a wolf, but I will blame the people for kissing her behind because a lot of people feel like she's better. Let's just keep it real. There's people that feel like she's better and they will rather, rock with her because they feel like she better. Ain't got nothing to do with her bars, ain't got nothing to do with her music or nothing like that. Some people just simply in their minds feel like she's better. Or she's the better choice because she's Cardi B. They like it is what it is. If I had to choose between soul food and Latin food, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to go with the Latin food. And I know that's blasphemous. But if it's done right, if I had to choose between the mac and cheese and the beans and rice, couple jalapenos and some hot sauce, I'm going with the beans and rice. Fucking have a heart attack with that macaroni and cheese. If I had the choice to choose between some fried chicken or some stewed chicken or some curry chicken, some jerk chicken, I'm going to go with the other one. That's what I'm going to do. And a lot of people feel that way about a lot of things, not just food. There's a lot of brothers out here. If they had the choice to choose between a fine Megan Thee Stallion or a Cardi B, they're going to say the hell with Megan Thee Stallion. I'm going to rock with Cardi B. But then you say, well, Megan got this and she's that and she's more natural, ain't never had no surgery. They ain't trying to hear it. That's just the world we live in. And it's okay to have preference or whatever. But when it comes to culture and the essence of the culture, change the name from essence and everything will be okay. Because this is not the essence of anything that it should be, or this ain't the foundation. This is not foundational anything for it to still be called essence. Or maybe I'm tripping. I'm going to leave it alone because, it really ain't no point in going too hard on this type of stuff in these modern times. People don't appreciate it. So I'm going to cut this thing short. But before I do, I want to get an understanding of what I've been talking about this whole time, because maybe I'm in the wrong or maybe I'm in the right. Essence, the intrinsic nature of indispensable quality of something, especially something abstract, that determines its character. So it sounds like hip hop to me, which is black culture originally. Is that what so when you figure black culture is the essence of a lot of things, rock and roll, jazz, music itself, most likely. So There's no essence in anything that's happening with this concert at all. Except for Patti LaBelle, but I seen the ingredients on her pies. And I ain't seen not one natural thing in there. Her pie is an Essence magazine within itself. Even though it's delicious. Shaka Khan, if they really, look, they need to call me because I can fix this whole situation. Y'all need to see this real quick. And I promise I'm going to leave it alone after this. But I got to make this point. Look. Look. If they really want to make a buck, if they really want to get paid, let Nicki Minaj perform with Shaka Khan. I know Nicki sold out, but so did the Essence Festival. Let her perform one time for the fans. If y'all really want to bridge the gap and don't see this video and make a phone call to Zimbabwe and work it out without cutting me a check, let Nicki Minaj come out there with an American flag and perform with Shaka. Do the matchups better than what they got going on. They could have did a fly. They could have had Shaka Khan talking about what you gonna do for me, and then had Nicki come out with one of her BS songs and switch it up, go back and forth. Let them do their own little verses on the Essence Festival. If that's what they could have did this a couple of different ways. Okay, bring Cardi B out with Jennifer Lopez. Since you know, why not? Cardi B, J-Lo at the Essence Fest. Who not gonna love that? I would definitely tune into that. A J-Lo Cardi B collab on a black cultural thing. They invited. We not the type of people that's not gonna invite people. Cardi B invited all day, every day. And so is J-Lo. If they wanted to bring them to the Essence Festival to do a duo, bring it on. It'd be better than having them coming out there with solo acts, because where is the respect? You can't get on stage and say all that stuff, and then you gonna dirty up the stage for Miss Patti LaBelle. Why would you want to leave a mess? And knowing that they got to come in that bathroom and do their business. They're gonna smear the seats. It's gonna be nasty, funky, and here come Patti LaBelle, Aretha Franklin, and all them. Gotta perform after that stench. I wouldn't want to get up there. You could still smell Cardi B perfume, her little aftershave or whatever the case. You could still smell it on stage while they doing their gospel music. I disagree with it, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think about it. I done said what I had to say. Shout out to the Essence magazine, the Essence Festival. They said it's going to be a mess. And I ain't trying to be a hater. I'm just trying to understand. I've been out of touch for a little while. That's why it sounds like I'm touched, because I've been out of touch. I'm trying to catch back up to see what's really been going on out here in these African American streets. But I see it for what it is. People don't understand who's playing the game and when they playing the game. People don't even know that they're in the game. Put yourself in the game, Jack. That's what's going on. That's how people are able to get over and take advantage. Because people don't understand that you're in the game. You got to learn how to play it, baby. Quit being played and learn how to play the game. But you don't have to play nobody in order to play the game. You got to master yourself and have some self-respect and some self-worth. Cut the TV off. Cut the radio off. Get in tune with yourself. Filter out all that BS. That's how they're able to do it. I'm telling you. They meditate. They eat right. They're cultural. They're spiritual. They're warriors. And that's why they're able to accomplish so many great things, especially when you see them together. They done took over the whole Essence Festival. Shout out to the Africans that own Essence. Y'all did it, big baby. Show them some love, man. They accomplished a great feat, and I'm pretty sure they did it together intellectually. Look, I ain't mad. Wakanda forever. That's all I say about it. Wakanda forever. I seen the movie. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Look, he got a beautiful wife. I don't know who that is, but he in the cut chilling. He do that most of the time. He like to be in between two girls so he can do his thing. He got to be in between somebody. Ain't that the tenderism man that gave him the money? I don't know. This brother all right with me. But he probably wouldn't want me to be calling him my brother. I'm just saying, man. I'm trying to be friendly about this. Maybe he can get me a gig. Essence Magazine returns to black ownership. And then they sold it again to some Africans, man. Get this. I'm gone. And if I was wrong with any of this information, everything is alleged allegations, speculations for entertainment purposes. I love y'all to death. Make sure y'all do me a favor out there. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, baby.